Hi, my name is Bekah. Welcome to my video series, Everyday English Every Day. It's an opportunity for you to practice and improve your English conversation skills while listening to authentic conversations I get to have with some of my friends. All right, today we're talking about creativity. Have a creative dream. We're going to listen to a conversation I had with my friend Matt. And we're going to talk about having a plan A and a plan B. For a little more, we're going to talk about the word legit and where it comes from, and the idea of valuing something. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, give my videos a like, ask me any questions, or add your comments below. Remember, you can practice the vocabulary, making your own sentences. Write them in the comments and I can review them for you. Okay, so Matt works in like the guidance department. He's not in the classroom teaching right now, but he's really a mentor and like an encourager of students, right? So he really wants to get their creative juices flowing. So let's listen to the conversation we had. During the conversation, I want you to pick out these phrases. Let's practice them. Repeat after me. Any children in some capacity. I went through a phase doing visual art. A lot of collage type stuff. We got gigs. I would talk with them to value it. Okay, let's listen to the conversation that Matt and I had together.
In them too, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. So talk to me about creative inspiration. How do you encourage that in your children? What do you think? Do you?
Yeah, man. So for like in my own children?
Yeah, or in your kids, any children.
Well, yeah, so like, no. It's interesting because I've been working with kids. I mean, I started when I was like 20. So 23 years of working with children in some capacity. Didn't even have my own kids till 5 years ago. So in working with kids, I always brought in my own personal creative visions and endeavors, whether it be music. I do a lot of, actually, I'll show you. Hold on. It's right behind me. I went through a phase where I was doing visual art, a lot of collage type stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember you posting about that kind. I remember seeing stuff on Facebook for it. Awesome.
That.
Whoa.
That's what happened. That's what happens when you start a business and then change your mind. So I got like 1,000 art prints in here just waiting for a home. But anyways, so whether it would be like doing something like that or whether it was writing or whether it was music, and the kids most often connected to the music because I was really making mixtapes and EPs, and I was doing.
Were you playing the music? What was your?
I wrote the lyrics and I sang the lyrics, and then I linked up with a producer DJ who did everything in that realm of it. He would just fix up the beats, create the beats, and then I would just go to the studio, do the lyrics, write the lyrics, do the lyrics, and then when we would perform, all I needed was a DJ and me. So we got we got gigs, like we were thinking it was cool. It was really cool. So the kids that I work with thought that was really neat. But I would just talk to them two things. I would always say, because I worked in schools, I said, you got to always have a plan A and a plan B. That was just always my thing. Like plan A should be education, because the kids I work with, they don't like school. They don't want to be educated. So I'd always try to reinforce and get them to value it a little bit. I always said, if a kid left working with me and valued education even a little bit more, that's a win. And because they all always were going to be rappers, they were going to be professional athletes, or they just were going to drop out, whatever. And so I always said plan A should be education. The more education you get, the more opportunities you have in life, blah, blah, blah. And I said, but never, you should always have a plan B, which is your creative dream. Like make that just as important. And I've had kids who were writing, legit publish their own books in middle school. I walk them through the entire process. And again, as we got to be in the more recent, like 10 years with everything being online, anybody can publish a book. Like you can publish that. Anybody can go on. It doesn't matter what it says. Some companies.
All right. So I just love that because Matt takes his loves, his passions, and brings them into the classroom, right? He motivates students and he shows them his own creativity, right? And encourages them to find theirs, right? He likes to bring in, does visual art, right? He brought in music and helped them produce music together, right? He gets them to publish books. It's awesome. He writes poetry. So that's one way that he can also encourage them in writing. So I just love seeing teachers who really share a part of them. That's what it's all about. All right, so let's look at this stuff a little more. So I say, talk to me about creative inspiration. How do you encourage that in your children? Now, by your children, I could be talking about his learners, right? The students he works with, or his own children, his son and daughter. Yeah, or I mean, in your kids or in any children. So when I say any children, it's really whichever ones, it doesn't matter. Now, we use the word any in questions and in negative statements. I have a video that's coming out in 2 days that talks about any and some. So I'll add the link here and be sure to check it out. Matt also said, I have been working with kids. I started when I was 20, so 23 years of working with children in some capacity. When we talk about in some capacity, it means to some extent, to some degree, or in one way or another, right? Might not all have been in the classroom, maybe some other different experiences, but 20 years of working with kids. He said, I went through a phase where I was doing visual art, a lot of collage type stuff. So when you go through a phase, you're in a temporary period of change or development, right? Your children could be going through a phase and maybe only eating eggs, right? They don't want to eat anything else. That's a phase. Now, a collage is a piece of art made by sticking various materials together. So he would put different pictures together on a board, some kind of board, and then that would be the collage. Have you ever created any art? What are your artistic abilities in? Add in the comments below what kind of art you enjoy doing. If you enjoy art, let me know. He said, he was also talking about music, right? Making music, writing songs. It was a DJ and me. We got gigs. It was really cool. So a gig is a job that lasts a certain period of time, often for as long as a project lasts, but it can also be for like a day or a night, right? If you're in a band, maybe you'll have 3 gigs every week. So all gigs are jobs, but not all jobs are gigs. What does that mean? Add to the comments below. Let me know what that means. All right, Matt said, I would talk with them. He's talking about them being his students. Would is the past tense form of will, right? Will is the future. We could use would or used to in this case. They mean the same. For example, I could say, I would play soccer every Saturday as a child. Or I could say, I used to play soccer every Saturday as a child. Now, we use this would or used to talk about past habits, actions that were repeated that don't happen anymore, right? They were repeated in the past. Okay, he says you got to always have a plan A and a plan B. Plan A should be education. So Matt said, I would always try to reinforce and get them to value it a little bit. I always said that if a kid left after working with me and valued education even a little bit more, that's a win, right? That's a positive thing. A win is something that's good. It was successful. You should always have a plan B, which is your creative dream, right? I like how he encourages this. He just says, don't give up education. When you give up, you stop something. He wants you to do both, to know they're both important, right? When you value something, you know it's important to you. So he values education, but he also values having a creative side. All right, so we're gonna talk about the word legit. He said, I had kids that were writing, legit published their own books in middle school. Remember, in the United States, we have elementary school, usually kindergarten to 5th grade, middle school, 6th grade to 8th grade, and then high school, 9th grade to 12th grade. So legit means like truly, genuinely. It's from the word legitimate. I might say, that's legit, right? That's real, that's true. All right, guys, keep up the great work. Keep practicing. If you like my videos, give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I always post new videos at least on Mondays and Wednesdays. Sometimes it's 3 days a week. Comment below, ask me questions. You can get in touch with me via email too. I hope you have a great day. Keep growing and expanding. Bye-bye.